This is Earth Tone Music Productions.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Life with Shenita. I am Shenita Connolly, your host, and I am so excited to have yet another amazing woman celebrating her this month of Women's History Month. So, before we do all of that, I'd like to ask you all to like and share the broadcast so that others will hear and have the opportunity to be blessed by her journey. So, if you would like and share the broadcast. So, with that being said, let's kind of talk about this Women's History Month theme again. The theme for 2022 is women providing healing and promoting hope. And as many of you all know, that Life with Shanita's theme for this year is hope, keeping hope alive, literally. This theme for Women's History Month is both a tribute to the ceaseless work of caregivers and frontline workers during this ongoing pandemic, and also a recognition of the thousand ways that women of all cultures have provided both healing and hope throughout history. Women, you are to be celebrated today and always. And so I want to make sure that I celebrate as often as I can any woman on earth, because I think that was the best thing God could have created was a woman. So, with that being said, I have an amazing young lady, and they call her the real Coach Miles, Ursula Miles, who is going to share her journey. And it's amazing. She is, I mean, when you guys hear her talk, you'll know exactly how powerful this young lady is. And she is living a purposeful life and helping others along the way. So, with that being said, please like and share this broadcast. And I am going to bring in my special guest for this evening, Miss Ursula Miles, the real Coach Miles. Good evening, Coach Miles.
Hello.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful. Well, again, thank you for joining me, and thank you for shining your light so bright that it got my attention on social media. And I just felt the need to share you with the masses. Um, and so, with that being said, will you introduce yourself to the audience however you'd like?
So my name is Ursula Miles. A lot of people call me Coach. I've been coaching for a few years now. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own a wine company called Clifford's Choice. It's named after my father, who passed away in 2016. I own a staffing agency, which is Millstat Staffing Solutions. Um, and I will be launching a consulting business because I always find myself helping somebody do something, consulting them on something. And so we're gonna launch that probably this summer. I had to push it back, and I'm also a veteran. I served 8 years in the military, and one tour to
What
Iraq
branch? I'm sorry, what branch?
Army.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you something real funny, real fast. I know you told me to introduce myself,
Yes.
but my friends thought I just fell off the face of the earth. I had joined the military and had went to Iraq and came back, and they have been looking for me. They've been looking for me. But
That is funny.
I am known to fall off the face of the earth, and they're just like, well, "Where you been? We've been looking for you." It's
That
like,
is so funny. I have a girlfriend just like that. She'll just disappear and then come back.
"Hey, where you been?" And I'm also an author. I wrote a book, "What Are Men Saying About Women," and it's on Amazon. You can find it on Amazon. And I have 2 other books. I have not launched them yet, but it's an ebook called Life. Goodness, I can't even think what my book is called. It's an ebook, Lifestyle Transformation.
Okay.
So you can buy it. I haven't launched it on Amazon, but you can buy it on my website.
Okay. Awesome. 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 So, you are a native North Carolinian, or
Actually, I was born and raised in Texas, a little small town in Texas. Like you look at the map, you're not going to see it. Like you've got to really zoom in on it. But it's the main highway on 59 that's going to lead you from Houston, and another main highway 287 is going to take you from Beaumont. So it's right where 287 and 59 connects. That's our little town right there.
I love it.
And
what
I
is it called?
say it again.
What's the name of it?
Corrigan.
Corrigan.
So, but I've been in North Carolina for 20 years. This year made 20 years. Been there all my life. And people always say, "Oh, are you from North Carolina?" I said, "No, I just live there." I always tell people, they say, "Where are you from?" I say, "I'm originally from Texas, but I've been living in North Carolina for 20 years because that's where all my family's at, and that's where my heart is."
I love it. I love North Carolina. My first husband was Army, and we were stationed on Fort Bragg for years, and I loved my time on Fort Bragg. Yeah.
Nothing bad to say about Fayetteville.
Yeah.
I spent 15 years there before I moved to Charlotte.
Did you?
I did.
Awesome. That is awesome. So, I wanted to share with the audience, and I got so excited about bringing you in, I forgot to share. And I'll share. I had 5 reasons to get into the wine business, but I'll share that later. But I'm so excited about sharing you. So let's just get it started. So what is one thing that most people would be surprised to know about Coach Myles?
But I'm an introvert. People are like, "You are not an introvert." I'm like, yes, I am. I am an introvert. But I guess there's like the third type of person where you're an introvert, but you can adjust to your surroundings to be an extrovert. So that's me. Like people are surprised. I mean, after I've dealt with people, it takes me a whole day to recuperate.
Yes.
I'm
like, I enjoy they don't believe me either. But I love to be secluded and spend time. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm an introvert. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So that is amazing. I understand it. So a
lot of people surprised.
Yes. I so get that. This is Women's History Month. So tell us more about the woman, Ursula Martin-Myles, Coach Myles, who is making history. So tell us a little bit more about you, the woman.
A little bit more about me, the woman.
I know you shared, the staff name, the wine.
Ursula's a free spirit. There's no telling where you can catch me. There's no telling what I'm doing. But once you talk to me, you won't forget how I pour into you. I'm always pouring into people. I catch hold to just that little bit of hope that people have, and I ride off of it, and I give them something that they don't expect. Mm-hmm. So when I leave, it's like, wow, that was a powerful moment.
Yes.
Like I haven't had anybody tell me that before, after I've talked to people. And so that's me. I always pour into people, but I'm honest. Mm-hmm. And I'm one of those people where my truth is my truth. It may not be your truth, but my truth is my truth.
Yes.
And sometimes my truth
it hurts, huh?
Sometimes my truth hurts some people, but it's never my intentions. It's always coming from Shenita, no matter what I say, comes from a good place. I don't do it intentionally to hurt anybody. It comes from a good place. Mm-hmm. Now, the way I say it may not be right, but what I say is right. So I never apologize for what I say. I always apologize because I'm very aware of what I say. Now I'm
Mhm.
not too aware of how I say it
And
because,
that'll change over time.
but I'm so passionate,
Mhm.
and if I wasn't so passionate, they wouldn't get that
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
me. So if you want that truth and the way I put it, I apologize for the way I put it, but
Mhm.
that's me. I don't do anything intentionally, and if I can't help you, I'm definitely not going to harm you.
Yes.
I'm
And
just going to let you
I,
be.
I can so feel you on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you be. I'm gonna
Mm.
let you be. I was telling my sister earlier today. I have my people that I talk to, and my people that I just don't. It's just something about them. I'm just saying.
I
It's like
don't fool with them.
I'm
No,
fool
you
with
can
them.
say it. I don't fool with them.
I don't fool with them. And so
Mhm.
so you won't hear me say I don't like anybody. But if you hear me say that, it's a reason, because I don't say it, because I
Mhm.
don't really fool with the people to
Mhm.
be able to say it. And even if I do just with them, it's like, something about her, I
Right.
don't like something about her, it's like
Right.
I don't like her. I'm like, it's something about her, I don't
Mhm.
like. But I try to find a little bit of something about
Good.
somebody.
Mhm. Mhm.
Those
Mhm.
people that I just like, I better stay away, because everybody don't bring out the good in you,
Right. And
you know.
when you talked about saying you hurt sometimes and it's unintentional,
Right,
I always say let it sting and let it hurt and let it heal. If you allow it to sting and it stings hurt and healing takes place, you're going to be in a much better place.
right.
But a lot of people don't want to go there. And so there are many conversations we probably should have with people. Honestly, I had a conversation with a male friend this morning about something, or no, it was yesterday. And I had to say what I had to say. And today, his response has been he heard me. Let me just say that. He
Hmm.
heard what I said and what I needed from him. And I applaud him for that, because a lot
Right,
of times people will hear you and their actions won't indicate that they heard you.
right, right.
You know what I mean?
And if you know me, they know that she did anything I do, it comes from here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not being nice to people because I feel like I need to be nice to people because I want something from them.
It's
I'm nice to
sincere.
people because that is it's coming. Everything comes from here. I don't expect anything back, because
Mm-hmm.
if you're doing it for the right reason, and it's coming from a good place, you don't expect anything back.
That's
And
it.
I'm one of those people where I bless people, and it's not because I look for a blessing to come back. I bless people because I'm blessed. I've been blessed.
There you go.
So I'm not doing anything to get me more brownie points or the kudos or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so crazy because I would pay for people's food and stuff like that. and I'm like, my heart's beating so fast and I'm sweating. It's like, hurry up, but don't tell them, because I don't want the thank yous. I don't want them to know I paid for the food. Like, don't ring them up until I leave out the
Right.
store.
Right. Right.
Until I leave out the store, and that's just the kind of person. I don't want the thank yous. I understand that you appreciate it, but
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the fact that I'm able to do it.
That's it. That's it. God has blessed you, and you are blessed to be a blessing.
Definitely. Most
And,
definitely.
and that gives us joy. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
know that part just gives us joy.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Definitely.
with that being said, tell us about the real coach Miles, or the real coach Ursula. However, tell us more about that part of your journey.
That part of my journey. So, how I got into coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So, how I got into coaching, well, I'm going to tell you like this. So, I was the type of person that always lend a hand to people. I was always trying to save somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself getting in the mix of a situation God had somebody going through.
Mm.
He was
Mm.
dealing with them, and I got in the mix trying to offer help. And in the midst of the storm he had them going through, he put me in a storm, because that was not, as they saying the assignment, that wasn't my assignment at that time.
Oui.
And instead of praying about should I get involved in what he had going on with that person, I didn't. And I ended up in a pickle that he got me through. So I remember telling my mama this. This is what I told my mom. I said, I'll tell you what, if helping people make me feel like this
Mm.
and put me in predicaments like this, I won't help nobody no more. I said, I'm fine with whatever happened at the end of my days. I'm fine with it. And
Mhm,
so
mhm,
your mama
mhm.
laughed, because that's just me. She laughed. She said, no, she said, you continue to help people. So I prayed about it. I said, you know what? I had to continue to help people, but I just had to know who to help and when to help them. You get what I'm saying? So I
I
couldn't
do.
stop being that good person that I am because of the bad actions of somebody else.
That's
So
it.
definitely that's how I got on that journey. So my father passed. I realized like the memories he left and the impact that he left on people.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to find out what in my life I wanted to leave behind, like what kind of impact I wanted to leave behind. And I struggled with my passion and my purpose. Honestly, I did. I thought your passion or purpose had to be, and if you read my book, it's in the beginning of the book. It talks about I struggled with my passion and my purpose and finding it because I thought you had to know how to cook, like you were on the
Mm.
net cooking network, or you had to know how to bake, like you were on Cake Wars. I thought you really knew how to do some things, but I realized that I had been walking in my purpose and serving my passion all along. I
Mm.
didn't realize that because of the way it made me feel at the end of the day, and that was helping people. I just had to get in my lane because I was all over the place with it. I was all over the place trying to,
Mm.
all over the place with it. So I just had to get in my lane and stay there, and just use what God gave me.
And you're going to help some people with
Yeah,
that because you helping me.
yeah,
Stay in your lane.
yeah.
First of all, get in your lane
Find out where it's at first.
and then stay in that lane.
Stay in because it's dangerous when y'all all over the place.
Right.
I'm out there driving, I see people in and out, in and out, in and out. I was like, oh God, they gonna cause wreck.
Yes. And we know this, right?
Right, just get
We
in it.
do know this.
We do know this. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's how I got into coaching, was that when my father passed and the impact that he left on people, I needed to find out what kind of impact I wanted to leave on people and go there.
And so your legacy is being established and created.
Yeah, just ride
As
with
you
it. Go with it,
Yes, yes, yes. And when my mom passed away, that's when I started seeking God for purpose in 2001. And because you knew people passed prior to that, but when somebody close to you like a
Oh,
mother or a father, it's a whole different sphere.
talk about
And
it.
I remember saying, Lord, what is my purpose? Because now I do know that this is final. There is no coming back. There is no retraction. There's no do-overs. There's no, can I say that? Can I get one more minute? None of that. And
None.
so while we are existing and living, we need to be as purposeful as we can on this journey. So
Right,
I understand it. You want to leave a legacy.
right.
What I want to leave an impact. When I'm gone, I want people to remember she gave hope to this world. She inspired me. She encouraged me. And that's what you're doing.
You
She
know, and,
got
that, and that's one of the questions that you asked.
mm-hmm,
And I don't mean to like try to take over anything, but you asked, how would you like to be remembered?
mm-hmm.
And this is what I said. I wanted to be remembered for the person that I was to you. If I wasn't a good person to you, then that's your memory for me.
That's it.
Don't be cliche and stand up and say, hey, blah 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 blah. That she was a good person, she was this, she was that. If that's not what I was to you,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be remembered for who I was and what I was to you.
Yes. And
And that's
everybody has a different memory, right?
it has a different memory.
Mhm. And on the real.
On the real, yeah. People, I'm a realist. Like
Mhm.
however whatever I was to you, and whomever I was to you, that's what I want to be. I want you to remember.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
don't
Yes.
don't get up and sugarcoat it if that's not what it was.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a fine line to it. I know we all are taught to if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But when do we start telling the truth?
Right. Right.
When do we start telling the truth? Because if your truth is a thin line between not having nothing nice, not having anything nice to say, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are we supposed to do with that truth? Are we supposed to keep it?
Because we all exactly because we all are evolving, right?
Right.
We're all constantly being and becoming a better version of ourselves. So
Right.
there was a part of Shenita that I'm not too happy about. So I know
Right.
that there are some other people who weren't too happy about, right?
Right.
So keeping it real is acknowledging the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. And I say that often.
Right.
I am nowhere perfect, but I strive to be a good person and
Right.
to be a inspiration to people. And sometimes I get it right, and sometimes I
Yes.
don't.
Get it- but
It's
hey,
just
that's their memory for you.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I put it out there. I am who I am,
mm-hmm.
and my goodness to some may not be their goodness to
That's
them.
right. That's right. Absolutely.
You
So
know,
tell me, what has been your biggest accomplishment to date? Like,
biggest accomplishment.
and a lot of times people are very reluctant to share successes. I am not that person. And let me tell you why. Because I think when we share successes, small, medium, big, extra big, whatever, we're letting people know the goodness of what we've gone through.
Right,
And so that gives them hope. Like, oh, if she
right,
could do that, oh, maybe not the same thing as we
right,
talked about earlier, but whatever it is that God has gifted them, it lets them see that we can do it too,
right.
whatever that
Yeah.
success looks like to them. So,
I would
what
say
has been, and it could be more than one, share with us.
I would say one of my biggest accomplishments was I was a teenage mom, a very young teenage mom, and I'm not a statistic. So I graduated college 2 times. I did an associate degree and I did a bachelor's degree. And if I ever decide to go back to grad school, maybe I graduate this
Right,
time
right.
because I only have a few credits, to graduate. But I'm not a statistic. So I think that's an accomplishment
Yes,
because
it
a lot of
is.
teenage moms, they kind of give up. But I have a good support system. Have a really, really good support system, and without the support system, I wouldn't be able to say anything good about
Exactly.
life.
Exactly.
So my biggest accomplishment would be one of them.
It's not
That
being a
would be one of them.
statistic,
Yeah.
because
Definitely.
society said if that was the case,
Oh yeah.
you would be on the street, poor, poverty, the child would, another generation. Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
kudos to you and your
Right.
family.
You're right. And
And
my
you're
daughter,
good.
my daughter turned out, she wasn't a teenage mom, so I did something right, right?
There you go. There
So,
you go.
but yeah, I would say that's the biggest accomplishment, because a lot was against me. I was black, I was young, I was still in school. I was the only black girl in school that was pregnant. So I would say, and here's the deal, Shenita. I came from a home with two parents.
Me
I
too.
came from a healthy home with two parents. So, they would think, she's a teenage mom. She must come from a single mom and they were on food stamps and they have this, but that wasn't the case.
Mine,
You know.
mine either.
So yeah, I
Mine
would say
was
biggest accomplishment.
disobedience. And that's what I tell, straight disobedience.
Yeah, but I'm the baby of the bunch. So they kind of like eased up. It was like they just knew you're and I'm probably getting off subject here, but before my father passed, he said, I don't have to worry about you. Because you're gonna take care of you. You know how to do things. You know how to do things right. You're gonna take care of you. Yeah, I may got to worry about the other three, but I don't have to worry about you. You're gonna take care of
Mhm,
you.
mhm,
So
mhm. Yeah,
he was right. I
yeah.
just, knew how to handle things. And I mean, I learned from watching my older sister make mistakes. I learned from watching other people make mistakes. I listen when people talk.
Mhm,
I listen to people and I learn from it because if they tell me don't go down there and something happened, then I'm not gonna go down there. I don't have to see it for myself. You say don't go down there.
I'm not gonna go down there.
I'm not gonna go down there.
I'm gonna trust you.
I'm gonna trust you. Like they say, don't pump gas with your car on. I don't pump gas in my car on.
Right. Exactly. We don't want to even try it. I
I
don't
don't
even
even
want to
try it.
find out. So
Right. So
they
so
said
I
it
learn from
could
people.
blow up.
Right. So I learn from people, and I applaud myself being able to learn from people. Older
That's,
people, I listen to them.
mhm. That is a great accomplishment when I think about not being a statistic and continuing on and
Right.
joining the military and starting your business and being successful with your businesses, not just starting them, but being successful with them.
Right.
What a amazing story. So
Right.
you should be one that's at every career day in a school.
Talking to the kids. I was a substitute teacher not a substitute
Me
teacher, but
too.
I taught summer school one year. The kids
It's
were like, Miss Miles is crazy.
But look, but if
Sounds
you get to
crazy.
join and just speak about career, you could probably do that.
But you know what? Speaking of when I taught summer school, might be getting off subject, but
No, no,
that's
no.
when I got in tune with what the kids from, I guess, the lower class and poverty were going through, because we didn't live in poverty. Coming from a
We
small town,
don't
we didn't
know.
live in poverty. So I didn't know. So when they would come in off the weekend, I would always ask what they did this weekend. And some stories would be like, whoa. So I tried to incorporate the stories that they told into this. Let me let you know something. You can be anything you want to be. I said, I may be here teaching summer school to one of the next president, the president in 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
but and I often think about them. I know they're grown. Some of them probably graduated college, because this was back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wanted to put something into them that
Yes.
they could take
Yes.
and that would stay with them.
Yes.
But it was one little boy that really touched my heart, because the streets already had him. No matter what we said to him, no matter what I said to him, the streets already had him. And that was heartbreaking, because
Yeah.
he was only like 13, 14.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just, no matter what, the streets already had him. And it's just, and I think about him. It's like, I really hope he was able to get a loose.
Yes.
As my grandma say, turn them loose, turn the street.
Yes. 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 Yes.
But
Well, unfortunately, my son is serving time because the streets didn't turn him loose, and he didn't come from. Although I was a single mother raising them, but he had a very supportive family, grandparents, dad still involved, uncles, but there was some low self-esteem.
oh yeah,
And I talk about mental health a lot. When kids are affected by the decisions that the parents make to not stay together,
right.
how that may mentally impact them. Yeah. And so we need to make sure that we are addressing our mental health.
Mental health is swept under the rugs in Black communities. Nobody wants the stigma of being crazy. And I told my daughter the other day, and I'm an advocate for mental health, because we all are going through something. Let me tell you something. We all are one thought
Away
away from going to prison, away from just all kind of
yes.
wildness.
It's real.
It's real. I said we need to get away from calling people with mental illness crazy.
They're not.
Because they're not crazy.
Because all of us could be labeled crazy, right?
All of us could be labeled crazy.
All of us?
All of us.
I'm talking about all of us.
But mental health is, you have to understand, when people dealing with mental health and it's serious, Shenita, that's quote unquote, that's their normal. So we put them on this medicine, and it make, to them now they're crazy. Now they understand I'm crazy on this medicine because that's not my normal. When their normal is not our normal. You get what I'm saying? And I just think in America that it's like people with mental health, as long as they're not harming others and not harming themselves, there's nothing that the courts can do. You can go to court and say, hey, she's mentally ill, she's not taking a mess. Oh, she's not harming herself. She's not harming anybody else. But what kind of life are they living if they're not on their medicine? You get what I'm saying? So I think they need to be forced to be on their medicine so that they can live a fruitful and prosperous life.
Yes.
Yes.
I actually was talking with someone just recently, and their son is going through major depression and wanting to commit suicide. And I think he might be a sophomore in high school. And the mom is on pins and needles because she doesn't know at any point if he will find a way to do it.
Right.
And so I've been trying to encourage her, to give her strength to go through this process that she's going through with her baby son. And so anyway, we could talk forever about that subject, but is there anyone who has motivated you on this path that you're on now? Was there mom, dad, a mentor, a aunt? Who motivated you to pursue this path that you're on?
I get a lot of self-motivation, because I'm gonna tell you why, Shenita. If I depended on other people for motivation, what happens when they stop motivating me? I don't have that, and I lose that. So I try to I don't let myself get that far down to where I need that outside force to motivate me. Now, don't get me wrong, I love that motivation, and I'm coming from other people, and I'm a person that it's hard for me to take. It's hard for me to take when people you do so good, you do so well. It's hard for me to take that, because I know I'm not where I'm at. I mean, no, I'm not where I'm trying to get to, but
Mhm.
that self motivation for me is what I need. But just hearing my mom talk about it is
Mhm.
is she's proud of her baby girl.
That's what I'm talking about.
So that's one thing,
Mhm. And I heard you talk highly of your dad, so I'm
Oh yeah.
sure they played a major role along the journey.
Oh, definitely, definitely. My dad wasn't. Well, we're gonna get into to that when we talk about it. My dad wasn't a man of many words. When
Mhm.
he spoke, people listened. So
Right.
that was motivation for me with some of the things that he said. And
Are
then just
you are there any regrets about anything on your journey? Any regrets?
I'm gonna tell you something. I don't regret anything in life that I've done.
Mhm.
Now along the way, I regretted the people I've hurt, and not being the people that I hurt when I wasn't as healthy emotionally or mentally. The people that I hurt to for instant gratification, the people that I hurt because I was being selfish with my own feelings. Now that's what I do regret because I played a part in shifting their mental. I played a part in um something negative. You know what I'm saying? I played a
Yeah,
part
I
in
do know.
their life. But if I go back and I change all that, then I mean I'm trying to change the course of action for where I am now.
Mhm.
There was a lesson from it all. Do I regret it? Yes. Do I want to change it? No. But I
Mhm.
do regret it. The people
Mhm.
I've hurt along the way. And not from being real. Keep it like that. Not because I'm being real.
Right.
But the
Right,
people,
right, right. I
you
get
know,
it.
the people that I hurt along the way for being a
Mhm.
person that wasn't very aware.
And that's to be
Unhealthy.
commended because not too many people can say, I regret hurting people along the way.
Mhm,
And we all, if we did a retrospective look on our journey, we all could probably say, you're right.
mhm.
I was not in a healthy place at some point along the way. I hurt such and such, and I regret that because we
Right.
have to carry that, whether we acknowledge it outwardly or go back and apologize. Because I've had to go back and apologize to people along the
Right.
journey. And I'm like, I just need to apologize to you for
Right.
whatever it was that I did that hurt you.
Right. Right. And I'm talking about just the cut
Hmm.
deeply,
Hmm.
somebody that,
Yeah.
that really, really messed with their mental and emotions, something they had to heal from. I do regret that because I inflicted that pain on them.
Yeah. And let me tell you
Now
something.
something they have to deal with because of something I did to them. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
And
Like,
some of it can tip them over. Many
oh,
people can
definitely.
tip them
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
You and I talked about relationship stuff earlier. And, at some point, people have to be very honest when it comes to pursuing anyone for whatever the intent is. Be honest from the get go.
Be honest
Don't
with yourself first.
be. And
See,
so I have found myself. And that's why I'm glad that I'm not in a relationship right now because I am working on the purpose God has for me and the person, Shenita, right?
right.
And so I have found myself since my husband passed gullible
Hmm.
a few times, right? And so it has caused me to really take a look at me. Why have I been gullible?
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And so, um, and I want to be in a healthy relationship with somebody. I do want that.
Hmm.
But I want to be in it with the right person
Right.
because I'm a lover.
Me too.
That's just who I am.
I'm a
Yeah.
hopeless romantic.
Yeah, I'm a lover. I mean, yeah, that's just who I am. I know that's who I am. I just have to make sure that I am not engaging in entanglements.
Right. Shanita, we all have to, we can't put the blame on other people. We have to be honest with
Mhm.
ourselves to know, why am I reacting this way?
Hello.
I tell people this. I say, I try not to say they made me act like that.
Nope.
They probably did something. Their actions caused an action for me, but
A
it was left with
reaction.
me
Mhm.
to react the way
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
reacted.
Mhm.
So you definitely have to be honest with yourself to say, why am I acting like that? Why am I so gullible?
That's it. That's
Oh,
it.
that man smell good. It look good, girl. Oh my God,
Right.
he got me. No, he didn't get
I
you.
right. And I was just, oh, I was just knitting. Whatever. You
You're
know,
right. So you've got to
yeah.
ask yourself, why keep falling for that?
Right.
So you gotta be
That's
honest
the
with yourself.
question right there. That right there. All right.
Hey, you gotta
So
be
yes.
honest.
So I'm doing some soul searching and some conversations with God. Like, put me in timeout.
Right. Right.
Put me in timeout. Go to the corner.
I know it's right. Get away from me.
So yeah, so that's we have to be very careful.
Right.
So tell us more about how you got started with each of your endeavors. Like, how did the wine business start? How did the
So
coaching business and the staffing agency, which is my bachelor's degree is human resources. So I always wanted to have a
really,
staffing agency. But go ahead,
so
tell us about it.
so I'm gonna tell you how wine came about. I love drinking wine. Right.
Me
I'm
too.
not like a wine connoisseur or anything like
Right,
that. I like what I
right,
like.
right.
We did Boone's Farm back in the day. And I'm gonna tell you something funny about
We
Boone's
sure
Farm.
did.
I'm
We
gonna tell
sure
you something
did.
funny about Boone's Farm. If you look on the website, we were Boone's Farm celebrities. Me and three of my cousins, we are on the Boone's Farm
Get
website.
out of here.
I kid you not, like 10 bottles of it.
I gotta look. I gotta look. I gotta look. That
We're
is
Boone's
so
Farm
funny.
celebrities, okay? I kid you not, you'll see it.
So you were destined to be in this business and didn't even know it.
Didn't even know it. Well, so, I like drinking wine. And when my father passed away, like I told you, he wasn't a man of many words. But when he spoke, people listened.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't speak that often. So he left. We realized that he left such an impact on people, on family, friends, and strangers. And he left remarkable memories. And he just put me in the mind of wine. Wine, when you show wine, you don't show up at a raving party with wine, get drunk and act a fool. It sets an ambience where you relax, you
Mm-hmm.
chill,
Mm-hmm.
you get your thoughts together. Or if your girlfriend is going through something, you grab a bottle of wine and you go over, and
Mm-hmm.
you put a little like music on, but it sets the ambience for
Yes,
that.
it does.
And when I went for my wine, I wanted it when you smell it. You want it because it smells good.
Mm.
You taste it, and it's like, oh my
Oh.
God, this is good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now you want to share it with somebody. Now they taste it, and before you know it, the whole bottle's gone. So
Yeah.
you're gonna make memory. So
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
leave an
Yeah.
impression on you too. So it made me think about my father.
Mm-hmm.
On the back of the label, you'll see it says that the wine, my intentions for the wine was to bring families closer, to bring friends like family, make friends like family, and to bring strangers closer like friends. And I'm going to tell you that happened. I seen that happen. I went out to California to blend it. I went out there twice to get to where they was making it, and then I went to when they blended it. And the guy that was the blender was from Charleston, South Carolina. So if you know any history about Charleston, South Carolina, we were in there talking. So we got all these things of the glasses of wine lined up, and we're drinking because we're blending and we're
Right.
talking.
Right.
We got to know each other. I got to know about his family. We started sharing different views, and we had some of the same views. And I sat back and I'm drinking my wine. I'm like, Patrick, read the back of my label. I said, this is coming to the forefront. Like, this is happening. We're no longer strangers. Like, we're friends now.
Right.
We're really having some deep conversations in here. So that was like confirmation. I'm like, I'm on the right track with this wine because this is happening in front of me. But yeah, so that's how I got on to the track with wine, because when I thought about my father, and that's how I got the name Clifford's Choice. And it hasn't failed me yet. People that drink it, they sit down, they drink the whole bottle in
The
one
whole
sitting.
thing. I've got to order a bottle.
Good. It's so good. So that's how I got on that with my father.
How many flavors? Tell us about the flavors.
So right now I have just one kind. It's a Gewürztraminer, right? And the first batch was 2019. And it's a blend between sweet and dry. And the second one is a little bit more drier. But it's good. I promise you it's good. I promise you it's good.
I don't like dry wine, but I like sweet, and I could do sweet and dry. I could do the combination.
So that was my thing. When I was making the wine, I told him, I said, well, I want my wine to be sweet enough so that the people who like sweet wine can enjoy it, and the people who drink the dry wine can enjoy this, could appreciate the sweetness and enjoy the dryness.
I love it. My friend who made the comic, Cassandra Weems, she is a wine connoisseur, so she loves. And if I'm correct, she likes the drier wines, but I'm sure she would enjoy trying yours. I'm going to order me a bottle.
It's good. I ain't just saying it because it's mine. It's good. I'm telling. I'm telling. Even Patrick's like, this wine is so good.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So good.
So how did the staffing agency come about?
So the staffing agency came about in 20. So you know what she did? Everything's coming back to me 360. The things that people are doing now, I researched. I probably paid money towards doing it, and I just wasn't in the right mind set to jump it off or to keep it going or anything like that. So I always wanted to do staffing agency, always. And back in 2020, I've had it like 2 years now, maybe before 2020. I can't remember. Maybe I think it was before 2020. I was like, let's just do it. Let's just do it. So I just did it. You know, and so the Milstat, of course, is my last name, Milestat. A lot of people said Milestat, and stats mean pronto right now. Yes. Staffing right now, you know, and staffing solutions. So this is how it came about, with that.
I love it. And then the book, which I cannot wait to read. Let's talk about that.
The book came with the coaching. And I already told you, like, I am a firm believer in real self-love, not just looking in the mirror and liking what you see. It's about how you feel. Do you like what you feel? Do you love what you feel and how you feel? And so when it came out with the book, I did ask men. It was informal. I got 20 guys together and shot them some messages, said, hey, give me 10 things that you would like for women to work on in relationships or whatever, just in general. And I took like the top 9, I believe, and put them into a book. Because when they told me, I already knew because I'm a woman and I listen to men. Right. Listen, if you
listen to them, they'll tell you
teach something. And so that's how that book came along. But when you read that book, and I've gotten so many people tell me that, it was like having a conversation with me. Because it wasn't like I was pointing my finger at them. I was letting them know, listen, I've been there too. I've been there too. But I'm not there no more. I'm not there no more, And I want you to use this book as a reference, not as a book where men are trying to get you to conform to them, not as a book where it's bashing women, none of that. It's a self-help book. It is. Even though it said what men are thinking about women, because it's catchy, because it ain't like, what are men saying about me? See what they saying about me.
Right. That's right. That's right.
They said about me.
And we want to know.
But that's my baby. I'm going to tell you something about, I think you got that question later.
So how, we kind of talked about how you want to be remembered. So let's go to it. Which one would you consider your baby?
The wine is my baby because that's my father. That's never going to change. Nobody's going to buy that business and change the name. That's not going to change.
Flipper's choice.
We're going to always have a bottle. I have people now that bought a bottle, especially back home, and they won't drink it. It's like I said, you can drink the wine and save the bottle. I know. You can drink the wine. They won't open the bottle because when they see my father on the front, it's done something to them. Like they won't even drink the wine. They can't tell me how it tastes. Like, open up the bottle and drink the wine and save the bottle. And I had somebody ask me that one. I had somebody ask me, do you think that black man being on the bottle going to deflect people from wanting to try it? I said, well, I don't know. It's good wine, and it's my father. Who else am I supposed to put on the front? Right. Who else am I supposed to put on the front?
Right. Exactly.
I didn't know how to answer that. Like, who else am I supposed to put on the front? But yeah, so that's my baby because that's not going to change.
And if it does distract them, it wasn't for them. So it's okay.
I always tell people, hey, listen, if you can't afford my $35 bottle, I'm sorry. Go drink you some booze for them.
Right.
Because guess what? It costs more than $2 or $3 to make that wine.
Right.
I went to Napa Valley. I didn't go to Georgia. I went to Napa Valley. I went to the home of the wine to
Yes.
get that wine, to make it. You know,
Yes.
it wasn't like it was already made. And I was like, I want this kind. No, I went to and I made that wine, you know. So that's
one of my
that's
good
my
friends, Jay White, and he's on social media. So if you get a chance to follow him, Jay White, he's one of my friends on Facebook. He's a winemaker. And so he gifted my husband and I a bottle of wine in 2011, and I have not opened that bottle. It's in a wooden crate.
Really?
Yeah. And it's sitting up for decorations. And I said to myself, now you have got to find an occasion, because Winston and I were going to open it on our 5th anniversary. And of course, we didn't get to do that. But you've got to find an occasion to open that bottle of wine, because I'm sure it is ready.
That's good.
I have to tell Jay, do you know I have not opened that bottle of wine that you gifted us?
So that's definitely that's one of my babies in my book. It's my baby too. Because 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years from now, I'm gonna be on the cover. My name's gonna be on the cover, and that's will always be my book.
That's it.
And I'm gonna tell you a story behind that. So I had a job one time, this was years ago, and I had a bag, and everywhere I went, the bag was on my shoulder. So this lady would always say, you every time I see you got that bag. So one day she said, you got that bag, you hold that bag like it's got $1 million in it. I said, well, hold my bag. So I go to the restroom. When I come back, I'm gonna tell you. She said, sit the bag over there, I'm gonna watch it. That bag got $1 million in it. I said, well, I tell you what, I'm gonna let you know what I got in my bag when I come back. So I go to the bathroom and I come back, and I'll pull out, I had my manuscript, my book, and I carried it around every single day. I said, this is what I got in my bag. I said, the $1 million you talk about, this may not be $1 million, but this is $1 million to me. This is, and the look on her face was like, you wrote a book? I was like, yeah. She's like, and that's what you've been carrying? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh my God. It's like, yeah.
My baby.
So manuscript, it was better. Yes.
It
was only 80 something pages, but the manuscript was of course bigger. And that's what I had in my bag. And she was so surprised. Like her face was shocked. Shenita, I carried that around me every single day.
It was a prized possession, because what? That's legacy, right? We understand that people who have written books long after we're gone and leave this earth, that piece of legacy will remain. I think about my grandchildren, my great-grands, great-great-grands who I may never meet. And I oftentimes say, you know what? There's something that I'm leaving that they'll get to know a little bit about Nana.
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna add to that. I've got a good friend of mine in Charlotte named Eddie Love. You look him up, you gonna find him. Yeah, I think he's gonna be the next mayor. That's what we call him, the mayor.
Right.
But he told me, and it's funny how we met. It's so crazy because I met another lady that's a coach, and she said, "Hey, you moving to Charlotte?" She said, "You need to befriend Eddie Love." So I befriended him on Facebook. And one day I happened to be trying to get a job. We're walking through the parking lot, and I look over. I hadn't met him. We just became friends on Facebook. I said, "Are your name Eddie Love?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Hey, we're Facebook friends." And we've been talking ever since.
I love it. I love it.
But he told me, this is what he told me. He said, "Miles, let me tell you something." He said, "Do something now, and you continue to do something that's going to, when your great-great-great-grands mention your name, they're going to tell people to come to the front. They're going to tell them to come to the front of the line."
There you go.
That's because they mention your name.
Yes.
And that has stuck with me. And I tell everybody what he told me. It just stuck with me. And it's crazy because a few weeks ago, he uploaded a picture, and it was his daughter telling her class to Google her dad, and they Googled her dad, and he came up. So now they all think he's a celebrity. So they treat him like royalty at school.
I love it. I love it.
They treat him like royalty at school. So I think it's the cutest thing.
That is
cute. Told him to Google her dad.
Yes. You know my dad?
Yeah.
Here's my dad. It's funny you say that, because my granddaughter, who's 10, Googled me, Shenita Connolly, and saw me all over the internet. And said, "Anna, wow!" Before the book, and they are just amazed.
Like
I think so.
the
I think
kids
it's
started
just great.
flipping out. I think her name is Kyla. Kyla and Kayla, I can't remember her name. Like,
Yes,
your dad is
I
famous.
love it. I
She's
love
a
it.
celebrity.
Yes, yes.
So,
Whoop, whoop.
it was just so funny because it's so cute and it's
Yes,
so true. Like what he told me, it
yes,
has stuck in the back of my mind, and that's the
yes,
only thing that I can think about.
yes.
People got to be mindful
Leaving
what
a
they put out.
legacy.
People got to be mindful what they put out. They look at social media and they're like, "This is not real. This is not real." Let me tell you something. Social media, it is real
It
because
is.
people gonna look you up
Yes.
and they're gonna
Yes.
judge you. We all may say when I say I don't judge people, I mean I can't judge where you're going in your afterlife,
Right.
but I do judge how I'm going to
Yeah.
how I'm going to handle you and how I'm going to deal with you, so that we don't judge people.
Not
That's
true.
that's not true because we don't
Mhm.
judge people.
Mhm.
You don't
We
want to
don't.
put yourself in a situation. You don't want to put yourself around people that we don't judge people.
That's
I
right.
ain't saying why. I
That's
ain't trying
right.
to tell you. I ain't not telling you going here or there.
Right.
But I'm telling
Right.
you where you're gonna be right now, and I'm telling you we ain't right.
And you might not be in my space.
There we go. Right.
You remember
So,
MySpace?
right. So I tell people I'm gonna judge you because
Yes.
we ain't on the
Yes.
same page. We
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right.
So, in this coaching business, so I know you went from relationship to business, but when we were talking earlier, you made some great points about your relationship, the common threads that they breed. So, would you share that with the audience?
People have to understand that business is hard work too. Like I told you, people say relationships are hard work. And if you don't know, if you've already got issues in your life that needs to be addressed, business may not be for you right now.
Mhm, mhm.
You need to address other issues because if you're in a relationship and it's already not going the way it needs to go, you don't need to bring a business in, because let me tell you something, business can mess with your finances. It's going to take time away from your family, and if that's
Mhm.
something that you need to be putting into your relationship is time, then you need to
Woo.
focus on the business. And then you may have a business and you need to know you need that balance. So it's all gonna always go together. If you got
Yes.
business and you got it's gonna always go together. All
Mhm,
things business, all things
mhm,
relationship, it's gonna always go
mhm,
together.
mhm.
I
And I
was
love the
gonna
fact that you were talking about it starts with self.
It starts with self.
It starts with self.
Even in business, when people want to start a business,
Mhm.
you need to assess yourself first to realize, like, is a business for me right now? What am I able to bring to my business?
Mhm.
What is it that I don't have right now that I can't bring to my business, that I may need a little bit of training on, or that I need to get somebody
Mhm.
else to handle for me? So when dealing with business, like, you need to do a self-assessment before you go down there and get that LLC.
Yes, 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 yes,
You know,
yes.
so
Because if you quick to pop off and curse somebody, or if you say that I'm going to do ABC in your word, you can't keep your own word. So one of the things for me is when people can't keep their own word. You need to be able to keep your own word.
mhm,
So how can somebody depend on you and rely on you if you can't keep your word?
you can't keep your word, and you're not, and you don't like accountability.
And if somebody bring it up to you, you ready to pop off
You ready to pop off?
instead of accept the fact that, oh yeah, I messed up, and thank you for checking me. Thank you for caring enough, because a lot of times people don't think people care when they get checked.
Right. Oh.
If I check you, I care about you.
I care about you. I
Okay.
care about you. Go and no breath on checking nobody. Listen,
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
because you know what? People that always want to check somebody, honey, you ain't doing nothing but disrespecting your own peace.
Yes, yes,
You
yes,
are
yes,
disrupting your peace.
yes,
Check everybody.
yes, yes.
Leave
And,
people
and,
alone.
and I've got to a place where if that's you, that's you.
That's you.
Yeah. And we're gonna let you do you,
You
boo, and I'm gonna do me.
over there.
Right. Over there.
Don't forget that
and,
part.
and
Over
stay out of those entanglements.
there. Right. Right. But definitely, people gotta know. What am I saying is this: be in business for people. If you got a business, be in business for people, and you're gonna always be in business. because
Oh,
you're
I
gonna
like
know how
that.
to handle. You're gonna know how to handle people. People are your business.
Oh my
All
goodness.
it takes is one. I've seen it done before. It was a guy that had a huge following, and I've seen it done before. Uh, um, a worker at a restaurant wasn't nice to a customer. I think they may have said something racial. And he put it out there like, listen, no, we're not going for this. Everybody go leave a bad review. They got a 1 star. Trust me, they had the manager handled that. They let him go. They was like, we can't risk. We don't do. We got to let these people know that we don't go for this.
That's
And he had everybody go back and leave a 5 star because they handled the situation. So all it takes is one.
that's it.
All it takes is
Make
one.
you or break you.
They can make it or break it. And I'm big on customer service, and I'm probably getting off track with that, but I'm big on customer
Me
service.
too.
Like you can fire your customers. You got to do it in a good way, but you need to have a process first.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a process. You
Mhm.
can't just be out here handling your customers like you in the streets.
Right. That's right.
I be looking
If
I be
it's a
looking at
business and you're professional.
it's a business. I be looking at Yelp and Google Business and looking at reviews, and some of the owners, I'm like, you got to be kidding. You need to get a spokesperson because you are
Like
horrible.
bless
You
your
can't be
heart.
talking to these people like this.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell them, you know what? If I can fix it, let me come back and let me fix it.
Yes.
You can't be getting with these people.
Yes. Whenever I bake, and if I miss it, if somebody says that wasn't quite it, I fix it.
Fix it. Fix
Okay,
it.
I'm
Because
just telling you. That's
it's easier
I
to
fix
keep your customer than
Yep.
it is to go get more customers.
I'm not going to go
Keep telling
back and
people that.
forth with you and fussing and defending. I'm not doing that.
Mm-mm.
Because that
Your
is their
customer, let your
reality.
customer service speak for you.
That's it. That's their reality. And if they go out and put the reviews out there or spread that word, then that's my reputation. And my dad
It's your
always taught
reputation.
me the one thing you got is
Your
your
reputation.
name.
Yep, that's right.
Your
That's it.
reputation.
That's all
So
you got.
you have to protect that as best you can.
They leave a bad review, you jump on that review real fast and let them know, well, this is the process and this is what happened. I tried, I did what I had to do,
Yes.
satisfy you or whatever, but they
Yes.
don't understand that.
Yes.
Some of them need a spokesperson. Seriously.
You're right. You're right.
You be handling people because we get too emotional.
Yes. Get
Some people
somebody
get too
to handle that
emotional.
for you. Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, let me tell you, you got to take your emotions out of business.
Yes.
You got to take your emotions out of business because
Mhm.
you'll lose it.
Yes.
You'll
That is
lose
so
it.
true. So on that
Yeah.
note, I have enjoyed this conversation. And so let's talk about if you're accepting new clients and how they can reach you, and all of that, because there may be someone who wants to start a business, wants to expand a business, wants to get some balance, wants to personally or professionally. So will you share that?
So I'm definitely taking, me and my team are definitely taking new clients, especially those that want to start a business. So we help them get the EIN, we help them get the DUNS number. The DUNS number, a lot of people don't even know what DUNS numbers are. It's to help you build business credit. So we help you with all of that. If you need a brainstorm and you're not quite sure where you want to go with your business or don't know, you need to get those ideas out. So we do a brainstorming. Even if you get ready to launch a product or something like that, you're gonna need an action plan to launch your product. So we do business plans. We have a business template for you if you want to work on it yourself. So we're taking new clients.
And they can reach you. The website is listed here.
Listed at Ursula Martin-Myles.
www.Ursula with an I.
With an I.
Yes.
Somebody asked me why it has an I. I said, well, it was just more appealing with an I than with a Y. But when you say Coach Miles, it just looked better. It was more sexier with the Y.
I love it.
But if you look up on the internet, you're going to see Ursula Miles with a Y. You're going to see Ursula Miles with an I.
But it's still you. And so
Correct.
social media, are you on all social media platforms?
So I am. I'm on Instagram, The Real Coach Miles, and then on Facebook, The Real Coach Miles.
Okay, awesome. Is there
I love this.
Yes. This has been so much fun, and I'm so glad you made time to be here. I don't take it for granted from any of my guests when they take time to be present in the moment.
I just appreciate it.
Yes. So, is there any parting words you would like to share?
I want to thank you for inviting me, and I want to thank everybody that was on watching.
Yes,
I'll come
yes,
back anytime.
yes. I love it. We have more to do together. I'm just
Thank
telling you
you.
that.
Thank you.
Um, and five things that I wanted to share earlier about the wine business, and
Okay.
I want to share this before we close out. And through my research, this is, I'm always looking up stuff, and I was so
Mhm.
excited I forgot to share it. So, five reasons to get into the wine business. It says you won't have to deal with student loans 40 years after graduating. Once you're in, you've got options.
Yep.
And the old adage that to make 1 million in the wine industry, you need to start with 2 million is old news.
Hmm.
All right, all right. And then the fourth one says learning about wine is fun.
It is. It's a lot.
Mhm.
And you're going to
And
critique people too.
yes,
Like,
yes.
look how she holding that wine glass over there, making that wine all hot.
And then
Just hold it still.
yes.
Would you swirl that around?
And then the fifth one says the industry is changing and needs more thought leaders. And so
Right.
people who are um, business owners or creatives, I call them wine industry, because you got to be a creative
Yeah,
to go into that area.
you do.
Um, and so those are five reasons to get into the wine business. So I just want to thank you for jumping into the staffing business, to your contribution to our country as a service member. Thank you for that. And thank you for sharing your gift and your purpose with us this
Thank
evening. I have
thank
truly
you.
enjoyed it. And thank you to Gregory Devon
I
for the
know.
connection. That was the connection to you years ago.
Years ago. Years
Mhm,
ago. Yep,
mhm.
it was. It was about
You
4
guys
years
used to
ago.
do things
4
together.
years ago. Don't forget.
Okay.
I look forward to it.
Yes,
Don't
yes,
forget
yes.
about me.
Oh,
You
I'm
got to
not.
catch me though, because I'm Dora the Explorer.
Oh, I know, I know. Dora the Explorer. I'm gonna be exploring out there with you too. So you just hold tight. We might meet somewhere in the friendly
Right.
skies, or we might
Right.
be the plan to do an event somewhere
That's right.
beyond
That's
our
right.
area. So, but yes, thank you so much for being
Thank you.
present, and continue blessings on your journey. And to you, we salute you and cheers. Although I don't have a glass of wine, and I should have had a glass with me tonight. Cheers to you and all the other amazing women who are bringing hope to the world.
Thank you so much. I
Yes,
appreciate that. And to you
yes.
too.
Thank you, dear. And you take care.
You too. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. So I hope you all enjoyed that conversation with Coach Miles, Ursula Miles. It was amazing. And she is, as she say, Dora the Explorer. She's out exploring. So thank you for tuning in. Remember, I love you, but God loves you most. He loves you best. Tune in next week. We have Terrence Hutchinson coming back to talk to us about um, health and wellness. He is an amazing man who went from being on insulin to no medication for diabetes. So he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. So we're going to bring him in during this month because we want to help women not only um, look good, but be good, their health. All of us get our health in check. So that's why I'm bringing him in, not just for women, but specifically for women. So thank you all again for joining us. Like and share this broadcast, even on replay. We thank you for watching as well. And as always, Life with Shenita started with an ultimate goal to help people overcome life's challenges and to encourage them to live a vibrant life beyond the challenges. So cheers to you all. Take care.